Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's Ijoma here, and this is the sewing tutorial of this blouse. I hope you remember this blouse. Guys, I'm really struggling to put up these tutorials here, but I tried my best to sew this and then upload. Sorry if it is not as detailed as possible, but of course I always try my best to make sure that my tutorials are understandable. Now, if you have not watched the cutting tutorial of this blouse, you can as well go and check it out. Yes, the cutting tutorial is on my channel, and if you watch the cutting tutorial, you understand all these pieces I have here. So I've added interface to all my pieces, and I used my crepe as my lining too. I used crepe as the lining, I used it as the main fabric also, and I added nylon stay. I don't know what some people call it. You can call it cotton stay or whatsoever, but I know that it has different names. So now I am going to pin all my lining together and join. I'll also pin the fabric together and join. So all I'm going to be joining with is 1/2 inch. One thing I love about pattern paper when it comes to all these asymmetric dresses is that it makes it easy to sew. Because if you're doing freehand, sometimes you will have to finish joining before you start cutting. But pattern paper will give you a view of what you want to sew. And once you are done adding your interface, you will start sewing and joining straight up. You don't have to do too much. So this one is the lining, and you can see on the lining I added collar gum to the down part. That is the curvy part of that hemline. I added collar gum to it to give our full length or the hemline a fine shape. You can see it is very firm. Collar gum is very effective. You can see where I added them. Yes, I added them to the hemline. Now I'll also use 1/2 inch to join all of them. This thing that I did here is on the lining. Remember, it is on the lining. If you want to do it on your main fabric, it is okay, but I prefer doing it on my lining to hide rumples in case the gum gives your main fabric, in case the gum gives the lining any rumple. You know, sometimes after adding gum, your fabric will not be that smooth. So that's why I always prefer doing this to my lining. Okay, so now these are the back pieces, and I've not added collar stay to the back pieces. So for the back pieces, you can add collar stay after you are done joining the pieces. You will just add it towards the down part, towards the hemline. So now I'll just go ahead and arrange all my pieces. I'll go ahead and arrange all the pieces, pin them the way they are supposed to be. I hope you remember that when I was cutting this, I was notching the half length of the back so that I will not forget where the half length is. Notch the half length area, notch the zipper allowance area so that you will not be confused. So all those notching, they are very important. So you can see how I am taking my time to arrange everything to avoid making mistakes. So now we are done joining all that. These are the sleeve pieces. So I added collar stay to the lining of the sleeve too. So you turn the down part. This is the upper part. You turn the down part and the sides. Leave the upper part open. So this one is not complete. Add gum, that collar stay. Add collar stay to the lining of this sleeve. Add collar stay to the lining of the sleeve, because that sleeve is structured. So you will turn the down part of the sleeve and the side of it. That's all. Just close the side and turn the down part and the side and iron very well. That's all. Okay, now I'll start joining my bodies. This is the pieces that I have joined already. I've joined the front pieces, I've joined the back pieces with 1/2 inch, and I opened all of them up to iron. then I always make sure that I pin down so that the stitching will be easy for me. So I will shape my main fabric separately, shape my lining separately. If you don't want to do that, it is fine, but for this particular hemline, I will recommend shaping your fabric separately and shaping your lining separately, so that when you turn, everything will look very neat. The only place that will be open is the zipper allowance. So now I will take my bust measurements and the waist measurements, hip, bust, waist, and hip measurements on the lining. This is the lining. You can see that color stay. This is the lining. After joining them, I'll also shape my main fabric separately. I'll repeat the same thing also to the zipper allowance if you want to close your zipper allowance, but I already notched my zipper allowance, so I know where to take my zipper allowance from. But if you do not notch your zipper allowance, you can do that. Now I will start adding bones to the lining too, to add structure. After adding this interface, this collar stay, I added bones. The bone will start from under bust. It will start from under bust down. Maybe the sides can start from the top, but for the bustier area, for the breast area, this bone will start from under bust down. So this is the lining. Also I will add this collar stay to the back lining. If you want to leave your back, it's fine, but that front is the part that needs this collar stay the most because of the curvy style or curvy nature it has. So you can add to the back or you can just leave the back, but the front is just a must so that the front will stand very well. Now these are the main fabric pieces. I folded in my zipper allowance and I'll place the main fabric, the upper part, like the front. This is the front piece. I've ironed my pad. You can also add gum or interface to this your pad. You can add interface on top of it and iron it. I hope you understand what I mean. So I'll also pin down. After pinning down, take the body measurements of this bustier and then shape. I want it a bustier, a blouse. Yes. So after shaping, also take your time to iron everything, your lining, your main fabric, iron everything. I make sure I iron every seam allowance on my outfit. It gives it a very clean finish. So now I'm taking my bust measurements. After that, I'll take my waist measurements, my hip measurements. So the hip part, just use your hip measurement as your hip part, or you can even give it an extra freedom so that it will relax very well around your hip. Okay, so now I am done adding bones. You can see how I added my bone line. Okay, I have done that. So the next thing that I am going to do right now is to bring my main fabric and turn two of them. So I'll go ahead and pin two of them together and then join. So at this point, I'll just try my best to make sure I grab every process. So you place them right side to right side. You can see I also notched the waist. I notched the waist so that after shaping, it will relax. You know, sometimes after shaping, without notching that waist area, your blouse will not really relax on your body. So you place them right side to right side. You can see they are blending. After that, I will pin the down part and also pin the upper part together. Then I will use half an inch to turn the down part and the upper part. But first of all, turn the neckline, the upper part throughout, notch and top stitch on it. Then you can turn the hemline. So right now I am done turning, and this is what I have. I've turned the down part and the neckline. Only the zipper allowance is open. You can see the zipper allowance, that's the only open place. So the structure I added to the inside of this blouse will help it fit on your body very well. So you can see that I have already closed everything and the blouse is looking fine. I couldn't capture the sleeve, but you can see the upper part. That's where I joined it from. I turned the down part and the side of this sleeve, then used half an inch to stitch the upper part and pin the sleeve to the bustier. Okay, so this is how I pinned it. This is the back also. So you pin this sleeve like this. If you watch the cutting tutorial very well, you understand these sleeves. So I added collar stay to the lining of the sleeve, turned the side and the hemline of the sleeve. Then at the upper part, I stitched it from inside and then pinned it. After pinning, you hand stitch before you start beading. Bye.